Hey guys, it's Issa. Welcome to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope everybody is doing well in the new year. I am here to film a little bit more of a serious video today because you guys, we need to talk. We need to have a heart-to-heart conversation because something has been seriously bothering me. I haven't really been wanting to be on camera lately because of some personal things that's going on in my life, things that I'm trying to figure out. You know, I've been recreating myself. I've been in my head, not actually. I've been rebranding myself. I've been trying to get into a lot of different things off camera. Going back to school now, so I've taken quite a bit of a hiatus. I really just came back here to speak about some things that have really been on my mind. I came here to discuss a few things that have been bothering me. I want to talk about how Black women are treated when they go to the doctor's office to express their concerns. And honestly speaking, I am disturbed, okay? I am truly disturbed on how we get treated when we go to the doctor's office. It's like the attitude is disgusting. And I'm not sure why, but honestly, I got a bone to pick. Honestly, I have trust issues with the doctor now because I just don't feel comfortable. And I haven't seen a lot of Black women come out and speak about how they get treated when they go to the doctor's office. I've heard a lot of testimonials from older women, in their 40s, 30s, 40s, when it comes down to being in the maternal area and when it comes to their kids and things of that nature, or if they're pregnant. But it's not a lot of people who come on here and talk about their cycle, which is what I'm going to talk about. Now, I'm a very conservative person, so I don't really like to talk about certain things, but I genuinely felt led to make this video. I've been going through an awakening, and I just couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer when it comes down to these things, guys. It's been 2 years since I've been going through this same situation, but it's also been 2 years of me growing as a person. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys where my story started so you can know where I'm heading to, because I think that that's important. I don't think that you tell your story or your experience starting towards the middle or the end. I want to start from the beginning. So I'm going to start where it was my freshman year of college or university. My nutrition was pretty bad. I was driving an hour and a half back and forth from my house on my second semester from my house to school every day, and the times that I would have to wake up would be crazy. So I get coffee in the morning, fast food every day. And when I tell you that freshman 15 is no joke, I think I gained a freshman 30, okay? I gained a freshman 30. If I didn't gain a freshman 30, I had to at least gain a freshman 20, 25 something. This was before I started school. I went for a physical to get my documents ready for school and stuff like that. The doctor that I had previously, and I just want to go ahead and state that this was a Black woman, a Black doctor that I had, but just to see such a negative attitude coming from her, which just disgusted me. I'm just being honest. So we're doing the physical. She's asking me questions. I'm answering her. As I'm answering her, she starts giving me remarks to the questions that she was asking me. Now, the first thing that I told her concerning me was that I said, I think my weight is getting a little out of control. And she's like, oh, really? It's not that bad. Your BMI is not high enough for you to see a nutritionist, so we cannot refer you to a nutritionist right now, but you can call your insurance so that they can refer you to a nutritionist. red flag number one. It's just like, I'm like, okay. 21 when this happened. Yeah, I was 21 when this happened because it was earlier that year. She didn't feel the need for me to go see a nutritionist because I wasn't obese or in category obese yet. But for me, I was obese because if I'm 5'6" and I'm 199 or I'm 195 pounds, I think that that's in the obese category. At first, I wasn't so aware of what was going on. I wasn't catching on, but now that I'm looking back on it, it's kind of concerning to me how she has been treating me. And since then, I have gotten my doctor changed, thank God. The fact that I was expressing my concern to her should have been enough for her to be like, okay, let me try to figure out a way to help you out. She was just like, oh, you just need to try keto and you'll be fine. It's not that serious. And that's the first problem. You don't ever want to tell somebody that it's not that serious. I just feel like that's rude, because if somebody's expressing to you their concern, even if they don't seem like they're gonna make a change or whatever, you never tell somebody that it's not that serious. Why in the medical industry do we tell people that it's not that serious? And time went on, the pandemic happened, in 2020, and by this point, I had gained 40 pounds. I pretty much have gained 40 pounds because when they weighed me, I got to my highest weight, which was 215 pounds. When the doctor told me that, my jaw, I said, what? Who's 215? Me? Nah, that's not me. That's not me. This was a time where I started feeling like my heart was slowing down. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I was sleeping, I would feel like it was just crazy type of symptoms. I was getting a lot of headaches and, whatever the case may be. And, it was just all kinds of things that was going on. I decided, at that moment when she told me that I was 215 pounds, that I was going to lose this weight and I was going to change my lifestyle. So one of my goals for 2021 was to take care of my health. And I didn't decide to take care of my health until I started paying attention to the number on that scale, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. And so basically, one of the things I wanted to speak to my doctor about was my menstrual cycle. Like, I have had very painful menstrual cycles for the longest, and one of the things that I have been trying to do is trying to get to the root of the problem. I'm trying to figure out what could possibly be the issue, what could possibly be causing me to have horrible menstrual cramps. Just so you guys get an idea of some of the things that happened to me during my menstrual cycle or have happened to me. I have had horrible premenstrual cramps, horrible migraines, especially the day before. I have gone through the runs, like the bloating. This past period that I had, I gained almost 10 pounds prior to, getting on my period, which has never happened to me before. Bloating is definitely normal, but I don't know, like, it was just bad. So I did my first complaint. So I went to the doctor, and the first thing that she wanted to tell me in my first complaint was just get on birth control. And I said, I don't want to get on birth control. Like, when I told her that I don't want to get on birth control and that I wanted to get to the root of the problem, she said to me, that is getting to the root of the problem. You can just trick your body into thinking that it's pregnant so that you don't have your periods anymore. And that is not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do, because like, I'm coming to you with a problem and you're coming to me with a solution to the problem, which is not really a solution. You're just causing another problem with my reproductive system in the long run. I told her that that's not what I wanted, and that I wanted to go ahead and get tested for anemia and get tested for iron. And at first she didn't really take me seriously, but I'm like, no, seriously, I really want to go ahead and get tested. She ignored me and she didn't take me seriously. I don't know if she thought I was young or dumb or whatever the case may be. So I just left the doctor's office. What I decided to do was make a phone call to the clinic that I was going to, and I told them, hi, how are you? I just want to make an appointment to get blood drawn to see if I'm anemic or to see if I have any iron deficiencies. Not just iron deficiencies, but I wanted to know if I was deficient in vitamins as well. So iron deficiencies and everything else. Everything. I wanted to know everything. The lady agreed on the phone. You know, she was like, okay, fine, we can plan a day for you to come in. We have so and so times. I picked the earliest time, which was like 7:15 a.m. I get in there and my nurse comes in and says to me, hey, you were supposed to come see me. Very sarcastic, all right? I'm like, well, I'm here now. You know, she's like, yeah, but you were supposed to come see me sooner. So I remember the last time we spoke, you were complaining about menstrual cramps, and we had discussed that you were gonna go on birth control. And I said, no, that's what you wanted me to do. You wanted me to go on birth control, but that's not something that I feel comfortable with. That's not something that I want. I want to get down to the root of the issue. And once again, she's like, well, all of the girls that come here go on birth control if they have a menstrual problem, but I don't know why you necessarily have an issue with that. I said, well, I'm just here to get my blood drawn because I want to know if I have any underlying issues that I need to be concerned about. And she was just like, well, we just checked your blood pressure and everything like that. Everything seems fine. Everything seems normal. And again, she's downplaying me. I'm a woman. I know my body. You think that because I'm young, I'm going to do everything that everybody else does. I'm explaining to her about my most recent period. I'm telling her how my most recent period lasted 8 days. That's something that is not normal for me. That's not something that I feel comfortable with. It was very heavy, and I was getting all kinds of symptoms: back pain, leg pain, headaches. This was the worst period that I've had in a long time. Well, one of the worst, I'll say that, because I've had a couple bad periods, okay? But it's been one of the worst, like one of the longest periods I've had in a long time. Okay? And I've never even had a period for 8 days. 8 days. 8 days. Okay. She tells me, well, you can just get on birth control. She was just so adamant about this birth control that it was driving me insane. I reiterate what I want to get tested for. I tell her this is what I want and what I need from her. And she's like, I told her that I wanted to get tested for vitamin deficiencies because that's what I called for over the phone. And she told me, well, we don't normally test for vitamin deficiencies unless it's an underlying issue or unless it's a problem. This is now the second time that she's telling me what she doesn't do and what she wants me to do. You're telling me what you want to do. You're not hearing what I want to do. You're asking me to do something that I don't want to do. Now you telling me what you want me to do. I know my body. I know when something feels right. And I know when something feels wrong. And yet you want to sit here and tell me what I'm going to do. And it's not necessarily, let me not even make excuses for her. She was being passive aggressive. She was being disrespectful. She was making smart remarks to me and things of that nature. And I just was not having it. She made me feel so uncomfortable. She was so rude. This is where it gets really annoying. Like, just follow your intuition. They tell me that my test results are in. This is the first wrong thing. They did not tell me that they mailed me my test results. So I paid a copay to hear about my test results because I had to schedule an appointment to hear about my test results, only for the nurse to tell me that the test results were mailed to me, which didn't make any sense to me because I had called the previous day to find out about them. But nobody told me about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the BS. You know what I'm saying? It's just so overwhelming. You know, I don't like to come on here and be upset like I am, but like y'all, I'm so riled up. She was getting me tight. She was really getting me tight. I go in to hear my test results and I said, well, I want to know about my ferritin levels, you know, because, and I also want to know if I can get tested for fibroids and if I can be, and if I could get, if I could get referred to an OBGYN. So when I ask her to be referred to an OBGYN and I want to get tested for the ferritin levels, she says to me, the first time, because we spoke about the ferritin levels twice. First, she said to me, you can get referred to an OBGYN if you want to, but it's going to take 2 weeks for me to refer you. This is the second time she says you can just call your insurance and tell them to do it, tell them to give you a list of places to go. But if you want me to do it, I can do it, but it's going to take me 2 weeks to do that just to get a referral out. 10 business days. And I'm like, okay, I've never heard that a day in my life, but you know, I don't work in the medical industry, so I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So I'm like, oh, okay, very passive aggressive. And then she was like, well, I checked your ferritin levels. And I'm like, how could you check if we didn't test for it? She's like, well, assuming that you're not anemic and assuming that you're not suffering from an iron deficiency, then I'm assuming that your ferritin levels are okay. And I said, but I want to be tested for my ferritin levels because an assumption for me is not cool. You know, I don't go based off of assumptions. I want to know what they're looking like. So can we schedule an appointment to do so? And she was like, well, as a doctor, I'm not required to do that if it's not necessary for me to do. I don't have to request it if I don't think that your life is in danger. Because we're speaking about my health at this point, and you're telling me that you're not required to do something unless you feel like my life is in danger, but you're required to push birth control onto me. What do you mean? And she also said this, you can go to an OBGYN if you want to, but they're just going to tell you to get on birth control as well. There are so many Black women getting mistreated. There are mothers dying. I heard of a YouTuber, you know, during this pandemic who recently died. She was complaining a lot about heartburn and stuff like that. How did the doctors not know what was going on with her? There's so many mothers that die while giving birth. And then the birth control. I gotta talk about the birth control. This is what makes me upset. I am a woman of 23 years old, so I'm young, and they're assuming that, you know, I just automatically want to get on birth control. Not everybody wants to take the same approach. Some people like me want to actually know what's going on with their body. She's just trying to put me in the same category as all these other women, even if I'm asking her for specific information. And this is the type of stuff that gets me riled up. This is a common problem, and I feel like it happens with a lot of young women, but they don't speak up about it because they don't feel comfortable for whatever reason, which I can understand. Why are you trying to force birth control on Black women? Why? What is the big deal? Because to me, honestly, if you want to do that, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But there could be so many problems going on. You could have fibroids, God forbid. You could have cancer, God forbid. You can have so many underlying issues that you just go ahead and result to putting fake hormones in our body. And some of us don't even know what's going on in our body. You know what I'm saying? And we're just going to result to fixing the problem by masking the problem. And not only masking the problem, but putting another problem on top of the problem that you already got. Can somebody break that down for me, please? And I'm sorry that I'm getting so upset and riled up. Actually, I'm not even sorry because I have to let this all out. I do. Because I'm getting frustrated at this point. This doctor got me messed up. And from one Black woman to another, the fact that you're not even trying to hear me out because you feel like your authority is questioned. So what kills me as well is that this time that I went and we're having this conversation, she has a student in there with her. And she's being very passive aggressive towards me. Because when I asked her about the ferritin levels, I was like, I want to go ahead and get tested for my ferritin levels because I just want to make sure that I don't have any cancerous cells, you know, because it can really affect the brain and things of that nature. And she looks over at me and she says, well, and what kind of cancer are you looking for exactly? You, the doctor. And you sarcastically asking me what kind of cancer I'm looking for? But you the doctor though. You know what kind of cancer comes along with the ferritin levels. And you trying to be sarcastic with me, asking me, and what kind of cancer are you looking for? I'm so sick and tired of not being heard. Like, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I gotta take my glasses off because now I need y'all to look at me in my eyes, you know. I want to be real with you guys. This doctor was so adamant for me to be on birth control that she wasn't even trying to hear any of my concerns. Her goal, adamant goal, was for me to be on birth control. But I just want to know, why are you so focused on me being on birth control? Who says that I want to control the birth? Okay? Who says that? What you know? You don't know me. You don't know my lifestyle, baby. You don't know. What if I want to have kids? Then what? You don't know if I'm trying. You don't know. What if I'm trying to reproduce? But your goal is to put me on birth control. It's just so irritating. And I've been trying to find videos on people discussing this, but I just don't understand why you are so obsessed. And you're not even trying to hear me out. You don't even want to know if there's something wrong. And I have heard so many horror stories, you guys, and I'm not on it for my personal reasons, okay? But if I can disclose some of them, just the side effects is the weight gain. And let me tell you guys, when I first told her that I did not want to get on it because I was going to gain weight, again with the slick remarks, well, you seem to have gained 30-40 pounds on your own. But when I was asking you to refer me to a nutritionist, you couldn't do that because you're not required. You don't have the time. I'm not obese. So now my weight is a problem. Now my weight is already a problem. But now you're just coming up with another reason to not do your job. I'm sorry, y'all. I am a Sagittarius, so like I get a little emotional when I'm upset because at this point I'm just irritated. Like, I'm super irritated. That's basically what you're telling me. I want you because you're young, impressionable, you don't have a voice for yourself. So I want you to listen to what I'm gonna tell you, even though I don't care about what you got going on, how you feel today. I'm gonna do what I wanna do, and you're gonna listen to me. And if you question my authority, I'm gonna sit here and make you look stupid. So many women are dying. Cancer, but they gotta get fibroids removed out of their body. They be looking pregnant, you know, and all of these kind of reproductive issues. But somebody needs to be a voice for the young black women that are going through these things, the young black mothers. I'm not trying to question her as a doctor. However, I do have questions, and as a doctor, you should answer them. That's what I'm coming to you for. But instead of answering my question, you over here trying to make me look or sound stupid by being sarcastic when I'm asking you a question. And that right there does not sit well with me. But some changes that I will be making moving forward, I'm changing to a holistic doctor. You know, I have been doing things such as, you know, taking natural things. I've been taking my vitamins. I've been looking at different alternatives. Every month when my cycle comes, I have been trying things to see what works and what doesn't work. I'm going to make a separate video on what I do. I really want to hear about your experience. Like, I'm really interested. As a woman of color and as black women, we need to have this open discussion. We need to feel more comfortable in expressing how we feel. But all right, guys, I love you guys so much. I hope this video was informative to you guys. Love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.